Hello, NPBF coaches, fans, New Frontier, whoever else is listening right now. Welcome to yet another Season 16 post-draft preseason Meet the Coaches interview with me, Alex, again doing these. Today I am joined by a man that you have met before, the Season 15 runner-up, same management, new brand, Jason of the Adelaide Delphoxers.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for being here. Thank you
No
for being
worries. It's
here,
all good.
Jason.
Thank you.
So,
Pleasure to be back.
as we just said, you were the runner-up last season 15. How does that feel?
Honestly, I was not expecting it. Just making playoffs, just in the top eight was my only goal. I did not expect to go that far, but those battles were really good.
You may not think that, but I gotta tell you, man, after the interview that we did before for the channel when we were just getting ready for playoffs, after really getting to talk to you and pick your brain and hear your thought process behind a lot of things and your team and what how your season plan changed over the mid-season, I was like, oh no, there's no way Jason's not gonna go far.
Honestly, watching the journey back to back because I rewatched all the seasonal videos just last week. I think it was interesting seeing that progression all the way through.
Oh, I should do
I think
that.
that's what changed my perspective because when I went in, I didn't have much confidence. I'm thinking all these people have got more draft experience than me. I'm not going to make it. But midway through, when I changed my perspective, changed the way I approach battles, I think they made a huge difference.
Oh, it definitely did. I mean, even like I think everyone watching this will agree, just hearing everything you had to say last time and how like in depth your thought process was and how like well thought through your game plan was. I think it was pretty believable to myself and anyone else listening that there was no way you weren't going to do well in playoffs.
And the playoffs were so close too, in the finals especially.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody knows when we once we did the semi-final round of the playoffs video, I was calling it right then and there that you were going to win the whole season.
It was so close. That Draco miss, and I should have used Crab Hammer instead of Crunch
Yeah.
versus that switching. That 50-50 call, I was thinking about a lot. I didn't want to risk anything, but now I look back, I realize I should have just crabbed hammered in a perfect world and hopefully would have got a Draco hit, and that would have maybe got it pretty close.
Yeah, but it was a close game. It was still a close one.
Yeah. It was good, yeah. I was actually content with how it played off, even with, you know, the way it went. I should have recovered with Turkey Kiss as well, but
Yeah, that
new season,
I think more than
yeah.
anything else, the not being able to preserve Togekiss was really what hurt you most. But that's just me.
Yeah, the first time was a misclick, and the other times I just thought
Oh, okay.
maybe
So
I
it's
should have
good to
just
hear that because in Liam's interview he and I like wound up watching the game again and he like took me through his perspective of the game. I don't know if that's something you want to do, but like just hearing that the first time with Togekiss and not clicking Roost was a misclick really changes a lot of the perspective I had on that game.
Oh, no worries. No, for me, I went in wanting to roost, but it wouldn't let me go back. So
Oh,
I
that's
thought,
happened to me
oh,
so many
I have to let it
times.
go.
That's happened to me so many times. There's no worse feeling than knowing the move that you were trying to make was the right move, and but the game just wouldn't let you do it.
Yeah, that's what changed my perspective on that because I could have just roosted back and I could have switched in multiple times.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough to hear, but at least for me, at least considering I was like, oh no, Jason's gonna totally win this final. It feels good knowing that like, okay, the guy I had to like pick to win going into this final round, he wasn't just fucking around. He was making he wanted to make the right moves.
Yeah, the thought process was there. That's why it was a bit disheartening when the Draco miss hit plus that misclick, because that changed the entire game plan.
Oh, it totally did. Totally, totally did. 100% changed the game.
And that other blunder that I did, that misclick when I should have went for the elemental damage, like the ice beam, that would
Hmm.
have done cleaner damage rather than risking the Draco.
Yeah. Oh, you had Ice Beam.
Yeah, I had ice beam as my other coverage.
Interesting. Okay, because I think Jeff and I were saying you should have clicked a Psychic or
Yeah,
something.
I had Psyshock, Draco, ice beam, and something else. And originally, I just clicked ice beam for the neutral damage, just for whatever would come in.
Oh, man.
But then I thought, I don't know. And then the misclick happened, and I had to go with that. So ideally, if my ice beam hit, then I could have just swapped to Psyshot next. That would have maybe potentially been a bit closer.
Oh, man. That's rough. That's rough. Because,
Yeah, those
like,
two misclicks
yeah,
changed the entire game. It was
absolutely.
winnable, I think.
Oh, it was totally
But
winnable.
yeah, just going in, knowing that I potentially could have won if I didn't do those misclicks. But Liam was an incredible opponent, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
pushed you to that extent.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, it really was only a matter of time until he was going to win a season. And, you know,
Oh yeah,
he
he,
probably
he
should
was
have
going in to
won.
win it.
He probably should have won 2 seasons prior, which I think was the season we brought you up in the middle of.
Yes,
He
yeah, I
probably
remember.
should have won that season actually instead of being the runner up.
Yeah, he fought really hard and won, and he really wanted to win. So I think he deserved that, honestly.
Yeah, he did. He did. Although I gotta say, I remember watching your semifinals game with Steven. I was watching it live, and I went into the commissioner chat like midway through. Not even midway through. It was the moment you took down the Metagross, and I was like, guys, I think
Oh, that fire blast crit. Yeah,
I was like, I think Jason's gonna win the season. Like he still hasn't beat Steven, but like I don't see a way that Steven comes back from this game, even though it's 6-5. And I think between this and just listening to Jason, I think he's going to beat Liam.
it was so close.
That would have been something. But it was still something like that.
Actually,
You went from like really bottom of the barrel at the start of the
yeah, I think I was
season.
second lowest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like nearly looking at D League demotion to becoming the runner up. So like that alone is an accomplishment and an achievement to celebrate.
that was crazy. Honestly, in the first couple of weeks, and I think it was week 6, week 7. I was looking at D League. I was second or third from the bottom or something. I was just scraping those wins, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, and then just starting with the game with Jamie, just things just took a really big upward turn for you.
That's when I changed the way I approached my team battles and building and that sort of thing. So beforehand, I would stress about every single small choice,
Hmm.
and you would worry about these different potential futures, I suppose, that could be affected by that one move or that one item. And that's when I just discarded everything and just went in, sort of not blindly, but just approaching the battle with what's in front of me and just eliminating all those potential things that you shouldn't worry about, and that really helped.
Dang, maybe I gotta listen to you and Rennie more because I do what you did, and it has probably turned my hair so much more gray in the last 2 years.
Yeah, Jamie will tell you that. I'll worry about every single um, potential third or fourth move that you're missing out on, or not having recovery, or not being a choice, whatever. Those things you can worry about, and it changes how you think. But if you eliminate that a bit, it's makes you calmer. I think you have a more smoother sailing.
Yeah, you would think so. I'm glad it works for you. I don't think I'm capable of doing that though, but we're not here to learn
That's
more
alright.
about me. We've already done mine. We're here to talk about you. So obviously, I think we spoke on it in the last one where you said that you were playing or doing things at the start of the season that really were outside your comfort zone, and then your success came when you started looking at things a bit more like the way they
Yep.
should be, right?
Yeah, that's right. And that's what I'm attempting to do this season as well.
So you'd say that like some of the stuff you learned from your success in season 15 is stuff that you definitely carried over moving forward
Yep,
when looking at your team in season 16.
that's right. So I know in previous seasons with you guys, I've played it very, very comfortable with Gudras, Slowbros, Blisses, and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you don't actually learn to improve as a person. Well, that's how I was finding it anyway for myself. I was being because I'm a balanced defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
I would sometimes just not have enough offense or not enough speed, and I'd get overwhelmed eventually. So last season, I used quite a few mons I'd never used in drafts before, or even competitive, and that actually helped because you're forced to use something different and get used to it over time. And that's what I've done with season 16. I've drafted almost half the team I've never really used before, really.
That said, it'd be remiss to not mention that your MVP from last season, Mega Lopunny, was the first thing you made to grab. Well,
I
after
know.
besides
I
Tapu
originally, yeah, it was weird because I wasn't going to get Lopunny this time. My actually first picks for Omega was Sizer and Moile, but that actually got taken before.
Yeah, although you might have got if without the skipping rule, you actually might have gotten Mawile,
That
depending.
was my game plan
Oh
to
man.
get a Mega Steel type, but when they both went in round one, I thought, oh, I'm not left with many good Megas because those are the top three I wanted to use.
Yeah.
So I thought, go
Although
back to Old Faithful again.
although Scissor is available, so if you decide you want it, you could pick it up.
Oh yeah, but I've got the regular scissor as well, so I'd have to
That's
do a
true.
swap for that.
That's true, and I don't know about you, but I don't think there's a whole lot of good Pokemon in Tier 2.
No, I'm actually made room for a lot of tier twos, and I actually sort of regret it because you're not left with too much good at the moment.
No, because presumably if you dropped Mega Scizor, not Mega Scizor, regular Scizor and Lopunny for Mega Scizor and a tier 2, you would want to grab a fighting type to fill the void, right? But then the fighting
Yeah,
types you're left with that are free agents still are like Kabalion, which what you don't want to double up on Steel type.
no, so it's not really that
Uh,
useful.
Buzzwole, which is it's not bad, but it's not great. It's not amazing.
That's not bad. Yeah,
And
that's like I did consider.
actually, that's it. Those are the only two fighting types left in tier 2. Unless you have the
Yeah, I
points to pick up Terrakion, that could be worth it.
that's not bad. That's like I haven't used before either, so that's good potential.
Yeah, like Terrakion was on my radar initially to pick up.
It's
Uh,
such a good underrated thing too.
yeah, it is. Although I guess you just wouldn't be able to pick it up because of Lando.
Yeah, that's the thing. I did consider a few of those
Oh wait,
swaps
no,
the other day.
Lando. Yeah, no, because you have Lando and Scizor, you'd have to drop like two things to pick up
Yeah.
Terrakion.
Ideally, I'd have to probably trade away two or three things to balance the elemental types a bit more to fit all that
Yeah,
in. But it's definitely potential. I
yeah.
looked at Machamp earlier as well as a if I get rid of Lopunny, I can get like a tier three, downgrade myself a bit,
Yeah,
and
Machamp's not
get
bad.
Machamp and some other stuff.
Machamp's not
Yeah, it's not
bad.
bad actually.
That those no guard dynamic punches and stone edges.
It's a good Vesta. You can band it. I've seen some other really weird sets too, like the bulk rest sets with
Oh,
guts.
I've never
There's a lot.
seen that. That's crazy.
Seen that once in a draft, and because I had a really fat team against it, I couldn't beat it because it'd keep on resting up and just setting up.
Oh no.
So stuff like that, if I get beaten really badly by something, I'll look at that in the following season. How can I incorporate the
That's
very thing I lost
that's
to
a
improve?
good thing. That's a good thing to do. You know, I lost to it. Let's make sure this can't be used against me again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's really smart. So your game plan going into 16 then was to incorporate a lot of the stuff that you found worked for you in season 15 and just keep expanding on it by
Yes.
trying to use more things that were unfamiliar.
Yep, that's right. Because I don't know Gen 8 very well,
I
I
don't
didn't
either.
play much of Sword and Shield. I didn't enjoy Sword and Shield, to be honest, or Dynamax, so there's a lot I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't an enjoyable game for me. I played VGC for Gen 8 when it first came out, and I think after the third season, I just called it quits. It was just kind of not cancerous, but it was very you could create a lot of really stupid things with Dynamax,
Mm-hmm.
and like in singles it was busted because I remember Monotype and ARU banned it very very quickly, but within the first couple of weeks.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and for doubles, yeah, you get a really lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah, you
So I
do.
didn't enjoy it. So I didn't bother checking out a lot of the Gen 8 mons in general, or keeping up to date with the meta.
That's fair. That's very
But
fair.
with choosing the stuff in my team, I tried to use a balance of stuff I've never used before.
Okay.
I didn't know what a Zeb Striker was. I thought that was a new Pokemon at
Oh my
first.
God, Jason.
I didn't
It
know
was
what
on
it
a gym
was.
leader's team in black and white.
Yeah, I remembered after I chose it, I was talking to Jamie. Oh, this thing looks cool because I thought its stats were better than what it was. I glanced at it when I was looking at choosing it. I think, oh yeah, it's 130 attack or whatever, and it wasn't. It hits like a wet blanket. So I kind of regret choosing that.
Well, hey man, listen, I'm gonna be a big advocate for this. If you need to go to Electric Type D-Max, Electivire's still there.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh, well, I originally wanted Raichu as my
Oh,
D Max, but
and
that
then
was
Liam
chosen.
took it.
Yeah.
We saw
And
how good it did for
Raichu's one
you.
of those. I like using that one, both the Alola one and the regular one.
Yeah, he saw how well it worked out for you. Although I think Liam was also hoping to be able to use hidden powers with the D-Max guys, and that ain't happening.
Yeah. Yeah, because it changed to normal type.
No, it
Still.
doesn't. That's why we're not letting it happen because it doesn't change type, and
Oh, it
that's
doesn't.
that's busted.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Z. Z doesn't change, but D
Yeah,
does.
Z
Yeah,
doesn't.
that's it.
Yeah, we thought we didn't make it a
Yep.
rule initially because we thought it didn't change like with Z, but it does.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
remember in Gen 7, like I thought you could use Hyper Voice Sylveon and get a fairy boost, but it didn't because it was normal.
Oh no.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think DMAX into the equation makes it very difficult to predict a lot of things, actually.
Yeah, it does. Before we talk more about D-Max, let's just roll through your team for anyone who isn't familiar. You have Tapu Fini, Cinderace with just Blaze, no
Yep.
Libero, Tangrowth, Lycanroc Dusk, Mesprit as a Z captain, which is that's a really solid pick. Does too many things. Zebstrika as a D-Max captain, Megalopunny, Scizor, Mandibuzz, Landorus Incarnate, but only with the ability to use Sand Force and Dusknoir.
I think overall it was successful. It was a successful draft. Going in, the plan was to use stuff I hadn't used before. With
Mm-hmm.
some stuff I have used before. Um, I haven't used. I've only used Cinderace once. I'm not generally a fan of Cinderace in general, but I really liked what he could do as a fire type.
Yeah, it's a really good fire
The,
type.
it was. Game plan was originally I was going to get Blazeorflon and what was it? Heatran and Oh, that water fire Pokemon from Kalos. I can't
Volcanion.
remember what it's called.
Volcanion.
That's it. Yeah, those were my top fire picks because I was planning on drafting that pretty early. I thought I'll get that in the next couple of rounds, and that stuff went.
Well,
So I had to
actually,
think of a budget fire type I wanted. So that was
oh,
why I
I
chose
see.
Cinderace.
Well, Cinderace is good. Good coverage. Plus, it's got that hazard control with court change.
It's actually not as bad as I thought it was.
No, it's the only reason it's tier 2 is just because it doesn't have its hidden ability.
Yeah,
That's the only
it doesn't
reason.
seem bad as a fire type though.
No, it's
It's
not.
got
I
a
mean,
good speed to it.
The Pyroballs, being able to click Pyroball like that is very, very good.
And I was going to get that Blazelaflon, but Jeff stole it. I was going to
Oh yeah,
trade
he
for it
did
after the
take
draft
it.
finished.
He did take it. I forgot. I forgot he took it because I was about to be like,
But when I
oh,
was giving
it's
him
still
my
on the
pick,
board. But no, it's not.
when I was giving him my picks, I didn't have the heart to tell him I wanted that
Mm-hmm.
because he told me first, before into bed, I'm going to pick this, and that was my literal next pick up the draft finished. So I thought I'll just let him have that and just swap my types around a bit.
It happens sometimes. Like
Yeah, it's alright.
I've had that with other people.
But yeah, drafting this season was very hard. A lot of my planned picks had gone, so a lot of it is in an effort to balance the types that I really wanted to get.
So what got sniped
So
for you besides Mega Mawile and Mega Scizor?
the first couple of picks I was looking at, I was wanting to get Tapu Koko, Dittos, Kyurem, Mew, Gliscor,
Oh
the
wow,
Mega
everything
Sizer,
that went with
Dragapult,
you wanted everything that
Rillaboom,
got
yeah,
picked round one. Oh my gosh.
Lando T, I wanted Diamantian, all that stuff had gone. In the first couple of picks, all the stuff I wanted to get was gone. So I had to make a few just random picks out of the air and see, okay, I'm going to build with Lopunny then because, the megas I wanted had gone. Spoke to Jamie. I was looking at Mega Atari at one stage, but I thought I hadn't had much success in a previous draft, so I don't think I wanted to use that again. So I thought I'll play it safe.
Man, my plans would have been really boned if you picked it.
It's not a bad mon actually.
No, it's not.
It's
It's just that I had been
it's not as one dimensional.
no, I'd been drafting around it, and I think no, I picked Mega Altaria after Jesse had picked Venusaur. So if you had picked Altaria, I would have been fucked because Venusaur was my backup.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
first 5 or 6 rounds, all the mons that I really wanted to build had gone, so I had to scrap my plan quite a few times.
Oh man, that's rough. I mean, Dragapult almost made it to you. It didn't get picked up till round 10 or to the 10th spot, not round 10,
It was so close.
which is really crazy.
And a lot of the picks I really wanted to get, like Lando and Moal and all that, literally went the turn before me. I think it was like 2 or 3 turns before.
Yeah, right before.
Because I was banking on getting those, so I'm thinking, yes, I'll pass off as my first trades and I can build around that. But they literally just went.
Yeah, it's so crazy how this stuff happened this way.
I think it's worked in a blessing in a way because now it's forced me to build around stuff I'm not entirely familiar with.
Yeah, which is more of how you wanted to be playing and drafting anyway.
Yeah, that's
Getting
why I
in.
keep on playing to improve.
Yeah,
So
and
stuff like Me Sprit, I've never used before. I don't know what it can do. I've seen Nathaniel use it when he ran that really cool, bulky, nasty plot set once, and that scarf set. That looks really cool to play around with.
yeah, it can do a lot of things actually because it's really versatile because it's got those like it's got really good stats with like just and like down to just like the base 80 speed or whatever it is.
Yeah, it actually looks really cool. Like normally I'd just slap in Uxie, but this looks fresh because I don't know what. it does a lot of the similar roles, but it's
Yeah, it does.
the
And I would have
balance of the two.
probably used it the same. I would probably be using it the same way if I was you. Like, I would use it
Because
as
there's not.
UC.
Yeah, that was the plan. Okay, it's budget ooksy, but it can do a lot of the stuff that Zelf can do too, because
Yeah.
it gets a lot of decent coverage.
Yeah, so that's actually going to be a really good Z user for you.
I wasn't confident as a Z user for the first time. I had forgot to leave my Z pick
Oh
at
no.
first. I'm thinking, oh no. So I just made that the Z choice because I wasn't sure that my next potential tier 4 would have been a good Z user.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it doesn't seem bad. It actually seems quite usable as a Z user too. So I think
I
it'll be
would
pretty good
say
in
it's
that
a
role.
pretty usable Z user, like, especially compared to some of the ones that did get picked to be Z users. Like,
Yeah, I
I'd be
regret.
pretty. Who did you want for your Z user that you lost out on?
Well, a lot of the really good ones that Jeff and that got really early was some of the Z users I was planning to get, but I
Like,
thought, well, everyone would pick the good mons first, so I'll leave that till later
you
without
mean like
thinking.
you wanted Drudigan, for example?
Yeah, stuff like that were really good because that's a mon Jamie likes using. He always
Oh,
tries to
okay.
tell me it's good.
I see. I
So I
see.
left my Z stuff, I think, midway through draft when I should have done that earlier. I was more worried about getting a decent mech and building around that.
Right on. I mean, I kind of built the same way as you did in terms of the way I was drafting. So I wouldn't say your logic was wrong, especially with
Oh
D-Max
no,
being something that you're unfamiliar with. I think you were right to build around what was more familiar to you.
yeah, that's what I decided. Um, Originally, I was going to get all that stuff first, get the D-Max and the Z out
Hmm.
really quickly. Then I thought, oh no, then you miss out on a good mega. And one of the things I like about draft is building around a mega because you can build your entire team cater to what its strengths and weaknesses are. So I thought, I'll just go with the
Exactly.
mega again.
Exactly. Especially because that's something you're gonna want to bring more often than not.
Yeah, if you look on everyone's roster, nearly everyone brings the mega every time. So it's something you can count on, both from you
Exactly.
and your opponent. You know what's coming.
Exactly. So it's better to pick something that is gonna be worth building around.
Well, yeah, and I've used it before, so having that familiarity, I think, is going to help.
Oh yeah. Absolutely will help. Definitely, definitely, definitely going to help you out. Very good.
Other thing I haven't used before is Dusk Noir. I've never used that, not even in game, so I don't know what that's capable of.
Good luck. It is a good Pokemon, but I picked it up in the middle of the season. I've used it before that last season, but
Yep.
I couldn't, mostly because I just didn't find myself having good matchups to bring it with, but I just couldn't make it work last season.
It looks quite usable, actually.
No, it is. It is. I've used it decently well in the past. Just for whatever reason, it didn't want to cooperate with me last season.
Oh, that's fair.
It's
I
just
was
because its
misled. I
HP
thought it
stat,
was
its HP status is
yeah.
not very high. It's got really good attack and defensive stats though. It's just that
I thought it
everything
was
else
like
isn't
a fatter
good.
Dosclops. Yeah,
No. Well, it
but
is. It is a
it's
fatter.
not.
It is a fatter Dusclops with when Dusclops doesn't have the Eviolite.
Yeah, that's true. But it has a lot of really good physical attacks it can learn, so it's actually
Yeah,
not
you
bad.
slap a choice band on that sucker. Whew, does some work.
And its ability to reveal the item is really useful too.
Yeah, getting Frisk on there. Plus, you can pressure stall with it.
It's really good. It's like when Steven last season used that Ghoulgeist to reveal the item. There's a lot of psychology around that, which I liked.
Yeah, Gav did that too with Dusclops, actually.
Yeah, that's right. That's the reason why I chose Dust Noir, mainly for that purpose.
Frisk
Thinking,
is a really good ability to have.
it is. It is actually really good. wasn't until draft that I realized how useful that is.
Yeah, just getting as much information as you can early on is whatever advantage and edge you can get.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Originally, I was going to get Kofag for that slot, but
Oh
I had
yeah,
gone over my points allowance. So I thought, oh yeah, Dust Noir can achieve a similar purpose.
Dust Noir can achieve a similar purpose, and Dust Noir will achieve a similar purpose for you.
It's not bad, actually.
No, it's a good
Lando I?
Pokemon. And yeah, Lando I.
It
Let's do
is.
Lando I. Because,
So I haven't used that since Gen 6 Mono when it was legal. So it's been a long time. But I
okay.
think it's quite versatile, even
It
without
is.
sheer force.
It is. It definitely
It
is.
gets a lot of really good stuff. You get rocks, you get gravity, you get rock polish, you get a pretty wide mixed pool, so it's actually not bad.
No. No, it has a really good variety. It can do a bunch of fun things, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it can do a bunch of fun things.
I thought it was worth a slot. When I was talking with it with a few people, they were going, "Oh, you shouldn't get Lando Y, get Salamence," because that was higher on my list at the time. But I thought maybe if I take a left turn and get the Lando Y, it actually might be really beneficial because it's your ground type, but also it's very versatile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's really versatile.
No, it has a lot of flexibility. And a lot of ground types are generally just physical. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the role, it's going to be a rock or a scarf or a setup user. Yeah, Lando Y is not as restricted, so I think it's not a bad choice.
No, no, it's not a bad choice. Not at all. Not at all. So let's look at some of the other teams. Is there
Yep.
anyone whose team that you really, really, really like, or are there any teams that you're not a fan of?
Oh, just looking, quite a few of my early matchups are going to look quite annoying.
Oh dear,
I think probably Jeff has got the most annoying team.
you think
Just
so?
calculating, yeah, he's got a very annoying, Steel, a Milotech, Floor Jazz, Druddigan. You got the Mangakanga, Alakazam, and Blaze. That's going to be really annoying.
It's interesting you say that because for me, I feel like besides the last two things you mentioned, like to me, I feel like his team is almost too passive.
It's got that weird balance because a lot of the other stuff you could just use, like specs, Florges, for example, and blow you back.
Oh,
Those
jeez.
things could. I have seen someone use it. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Chris in another draft to use
Mm-hmm.
specs, Florges, and blew someone back, which I thought was hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
Seeing people switch in the toxic packs and it gets two killed by psychic or whatever. Stuff like that is just, I like seeing unique stuff like that.
That is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. I'm gonna give you that one.
I think Rennie's got a really good team too. He's
Yeah.
got a really good core.
Yeah, he does.
Having Zapdos and Raton Wash with Charizard X is annoying. He's got the Ferrothorn too.
Yeah,
And so can Gala.
having Z Noivern and having Max Boltund plus Slowking
That's good.
Galar
'Cause
and Granbull.
when
Man,
we saw Granbull last season, how good that was.
Granbull was really really good for him. It
I
was
really
like
like his
too
team.
good.
And,
Imagine if Granbull was his max.
oh no, with its HB, that'd be insane.
And just the coverage it gets.
It can do so much things.
Yeah, not something I'm really. It isn't something I'm keen on seeing him do personally.
I think team wise, I think Liam still has the most annoying team in my opinion.
You think so? You think it's Liam?
Yep, Lando T and Slowbro. That is so annoying to break. Then you got Morlisle and
Yeah.
his Hydreigon and Dom can just bring in it for free. There's a lot of really good stuff. He's got just that synergy works so well together.
That's true. That is true. He's got a bunch of things that work well together. It's annoying. Very,
And because
very
he's such
annoying.
a well calculated player, yeah, he'll bring in that stuff, coach you into misplaying a bit, and then he can take advantage of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something you really like seeing.
No. Having battled him quite a few times, it does get very annoying. Preparing is so stressful because he's so good.
Yeah, I would not want to deal with him. And yet I do, because he's in my division. But we'll talk
But
divisions in a sec.
no worries. But honestly, I think everyone has pretty good teams. Like it was hard to narrow down like the really challenging ones, but I think pretty much every single person's got a really well constructed team.
In that case, does anybody have a team that if you had to pick someone else's team to be using for the season, like that you'd want to, like anyone stand out in that regard?
Actually, I'd like to use Daishon's team. He's got Rillaboom and Hawlucha. That's so fun to build around. And Mega Diancie.
Oh yeah, it's one hell of a combo, that's for sure.
I like that. And I've never used Raycal before, so that would be really cool to use.
And it did really well for him last season too.
And I know he likes using Silvally a lot, so, and I've seen how good he is with that. So I think that's a really good constructed team to use.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a nutty team for him, for sure.
I think it's quite bold to use Jealous and Z as well. I wouldn't have thought of that.
I'm still not sure what he's thinking with that one, but you know what? Whatever works. Whatever works for him, you know?
It's nice to see someone use Hooper C. I've never seen anyone use that before.
Me either, but I was talking with I'm trying to remember who I was talking to. I was talking to Quentin about
I
it.
think Quinton, yes, because I watched that video as well.
Well, we only just recorded it yesterday. It hasn't gone live yet.
Oh, not the video, but his
Oh,
stream
you
on
watched his
Twitch.
stream. Okay, so you watched the
Yes.
interview. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, by the way. Maybe hopefully Quentin's we can get the link to Quentin's video to his stream and to his Twitch channel in his video. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Honestly, it was really insightful with what he was talking about because I have heard of him, but I've never battled him, I don't think. So it was
No,
really
no.
cool to see his perspective.
Yeah, the way he was talking, like when we went over Hoopa, I didn't realize how good Hoopa C is, and it's just its typing that holds it back.
Yeah, it's very, I think if you build around it and use something like webs to take advantage of its average speed, it's much more threatening. It's
Yeah.
actually quite usable, I think. Gets really good coverage. It can do mixed. You can band it, scarf it, specs it. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that was one of the things that came up actually when we were talking. I was like, this Hoopa C is it's a really good scarfer.
And if you play it mixed, really with the right EV spread, there are some things that can't switch into it at all. So it's actually
No.
pretty good.
And honestly, it's got the same physical defense as Hoopa Unbound.
That's actually not bad. It's usable because Hooper Unbound can take some neutral hits okay-ish.
Yeah, sometimes.
Obviously not you, but
Yeah.
it can take can take an average hit.
Yeah, like how Hoopa C can take well, it can't take a dark type.
No, but special wise, it's actually pretty good too. I think
Yeah.
it's got a high special defense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's well over 100.
So that's actually quite good. You could almost use a vest set if you really wanted to be weird.
You could invest in a trick room.
Because remember in was it Gen 7 where people were running vest hooper unbound for that reason? And then you could just do mixed sets really easily, and then people couldn't predict what item you were. It was good.
Oh, yes. Yes, that is right. That's crazy. Man, the stuff people come up with.
Oh no. I think a lot of that stuff's really good for draft because if you can have something that gives you a lot of versatility for battles that you approach, I think makes you harder to approach to defeat. I think.
I would agree with that. I would
But yeah, just
definitely
looking at
agree.
these teams, they're so good. A lot of these teams.
Yeah. Yeah, some more than others. I will say, you're definitely making it so that people are going to be wishing you were doing the draft ratings, because I think when we do them, we're not going to be as nice as you are.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be quite harsh this time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I don't think James probably shouldn't have gotten as high of a rating as he got, considering his team was literally carried by Gyarados.
Yeah.
You know,
Honestly though, the grade doesn't matter too much, but I think
no,
it's more the
great.
player.
No, it's
Like on
totally about the
paper,
player. It's
yeah,
totally about the
yeah.
player.
And it's not a bad thing if someone grades your list wrong,
Yeah,
viability wise, because you, as a player, might bring out different stuff and you might influence it a bit.
exactly.
I remember when I first came to A League and I forgot whose team I had, but it was voted the worst one, I think, at the time.
You
And I
had
got to.
you had Ken's team,
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's who I replaced.
and I thought he had a
And
good team.
yes, so did I. When I was approached to potentially this is the team you'll have, I thought, oh, this is actually pretty good. It's got a lot of stuff I've used before.
And then
It had the bulky stuff,
yeah, and you just made a
and I
couple of
think
adjustments. You put Mimikyu on it.
yeah, I think that was the only trade I did, and I kept the Raichu and all that sort of stuff. And
It
yeah,
was a good
honestly,
team.
even though it was even though it got a low grade, I thought it was a really good team to use.
Listen, the team he and I week one when you were still in D League, we played a 45-minute game. So like I don't whatever that tells you about the team is all you really need to know.
Oh yeah, I remember that because I watched a lot of his replays.
Yeah, that if we had to go through that with all the offense I brought, then it's not a bad team. It's just that he played too passively against me.
Yeah, that's the problem with defensive teams like that. Sometimes you need to be more aggressive in your plays.
Yeah, you can't just sit there and just keep recovering. You have to click toxic or a damaging move eventually.
Yeah, you have to put the pressure on. That's something I've learned a lot as a
Yeah.
balanced player.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna play like that, you need to make sure you keep hazards up on your opponent's side of the field to punish them for all the switching and whatnot.
Yeah, that's right, and take advantage of those turns where you can pressure them and they get surprised by a move.
Yeah. Ken didn't do that.
No.
Unfortunately for him. But anyways, we were talking about teams before. So let's take a look at the
Yep.
divisions. Your
Sure.
division, in my opinion, strictly my opinion, you might feel differently. And if you do, that's cool, because I'd love to hear your reasoning. But to me, your division is one of the easier ones. One of the more fair and balanced ones, maybe, is the nicer way to put it, of the season. Your division, of course, being yourself, James of the Magic
Oh yeah, the
Carps,
Magic Harps,
David of the newly
Goons,
promoted
and the
Goons, and
Cocos.
Shawnee from the Cocos. Yeah,
That's a good range of player skills too. I think.
yeah. I think it's the it's I so when I say easy, I mean more like fair because like in the division above you, you have. Admittedly, this was before Callum came in, and when we had the Toxicroaks instead of the Bellsprouts.
Yeah.
Because then that division was the Toxicroaks who won D League, Deshawn and Rennie, and then poor little Eric's about to get bullied.
Yeah. It's
And
still a good division.
it's still a good division, especially with Callum getting number 2 in the regular season for D League. Like, he did something right.
Oh, is that him? That's cool.
Yeah, he would have been ranked like. I think he made it to the semis in D League. I think he would have essentially come in third in D League.
Oh, that's cool. I wasn't sure who he was.
Yeah, he's a D League
That's
for
cool.
now. And then at the bottom, the 4th division in the Ballinlay division, you have me, Steven, Anthony, and Liam.
That's an insane lineup.
Yeah, like, that's not fair.
No. Honestly, it'd be very hard to call who's going to win that. That's really hard.
It's going to be like your division last season where 3 of us make it to playoffs, probably.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now it's just a matter of figuring out who's going to be the 4th guy that doesn't go.
Yeah, I see what you mean now, because in our division, it's more tamer, I suppose.
Yeah. Where, like, on paper, obviously we can't say anything about David because it's his first run in main league. But, like, of the 3 returning coaches, you're the one with the most recent scary record between you, James, and Shawnee.
Yeah, and Shawnee's really good too.
When he's not in the funk.
Yeah. I think when he brings his A game, he's actually really good.
When he brings his A game, he's really good, and he knows it. I think. I think he thinks he's shit sometimes.
And the Magic Harps is really good as well. Like, I've battled him quite a few times. But yeah.
But he doesn't have Gyarados this season, so who's to say?
Yeah, this is the first time he's never used it, I think.
Yeah, I think this is the first time he's never drafted some form of Gyarados.
He's a good player, I think. Trying to out-predict him is very difficult.
Well, yeah, but that's because his experience since he joined the NPBF, so like just over almost 2.5 years, is all of his single experience because he was strictly a doubles player before.
Really? Well, that's pretty impressive then, because he's really good in singles.
Like when he first joined an NPBF at the start of Gen 8, he was a free win.
Yep.
Like
that's insane.
Like, I'm not even like saying that to put him down. It was just objective. He went like 1-11 his first season.
That's crazy. When I saw him in battles, he gave the impression of someone who's quite experienced.
Well, he's incredibly experienced when it comes to doubles. You at the time of you and I recording, his interview hasn't gone up yet, but you listen to that one because he'd been doing the official tournaments since Diamond and Pearl for VGC.
Oh, that's when it started too. That's crazy.
Yeah, like he was really serious about it in Diamond and Pearl and Black and White and doing doubles.
Like, that's very impressive, actually.
So there's some stuff that is more important in singles that he talks about than in doubles, but he has a lot of strictly battle experience from playing in doubles. Although for him, where it really started clicking in singles was when we did our monotype season, the season before you got called up.
Oh, I've heard about the monotype season. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, he got poison, and I think Slowbro Galler opened his eyes to what singles could be.
Yeah, Slow King Galler's so good.
No, not even Slow King. It was still Slowbro, so he was just getting all of
Slowbro.
So he was running, like, I think there were times when he was running not King's Rock, Quick Claw Slowbro, so if...
Oh, the Quick Draw thing. Yeah,
so
I hate that.
If Quick Draw didn't proc, then Quick Claw did.
That's insane.
It was really funny.
There's a lot of 50-50 calls you can get. Yeah.
It was really frustrating, but it was also really funny if you were watching the game.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I've seen how annoying that thing is. Because you have to make a call where do I risk it? And then they get the speed boost and just smash you. It's really annoying to go against.
Yeah, I actually thought that Slowbro Galler was going to become his new Gyarados or his second Gyarados, but it didn't.
Oh, I should. It's a good monster build around, actually.
Yeah, you should. You hear that? Hear that, James? Your division mate says that you should start building around Slowbro Galler. Pick it, make it the new
Yeah, just
Gyarados.
bring Trickery. Man, it's insane.
It is insane. It's a really good Pokemon. So let's look at the schedule then.
Yeah.
We've talked divisions and whatnot. Is there anyone on your schedule that you're really, really excited to battle this season?
Honestly, the goons, just because I've never battled them before. So
Oh,
new people get my attention the
nice and
most
weak
because you
too.
don't know their potential.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's early too.
Yeah, and then let's see if you got anybody else that's new. You've battled Anthony. Oh yeah, you famously
Yeah.
battled Anthony actually last season. the,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the flitch.
the Togekiss, which was totally intentional, you said. Oh,
Yeah.
you get another fresh game against the Bellsprouts.
Oh, not bad. So yeah, I get to go into the D League guy. That's cool.
Who else? And you get Quentin immediately the week after.
Oh, not bad. That's going to be a difficult match, actually, I think. Because if you don't know how someone plays, you've got less information to work with.
Yeah, and since you saw the stream, you heard how Quentin's gonna be like, by the time you get to play him, you're only gonna have a couple games of knowing how Quentin actually plays, because he historically doesn't do well the first few weeks as he adjusts to his team.
Yeah, I play the same too, so I can relate to that.
Yeah, so you're only gonna have maybe one or two games of really seeing how he plays.
I know, there's not enough data to work with, so that's going to be
Yeah.
very difficult.
Rennie had always famously said, "You never know which version of Quentin you're gonna get. You're either gonna get someone who's a master of the game, or you're gonna get someone who's utter garbage at it."
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's how Quentin made it to the finals and then dropped the finals to me. He he played like a
Yeah.
master for the first two rounds, and then it was hot garbage right at the finals. Sorry, Quentin. Sorry, Quentin. That's not true. You just didn't know what he just didn't know how good Manaphy was. That's all.
Oh, Manaphy, yeah, that's so difficult to switch into sometimes.
Well, I
'Cause it
think it
gets
was
psychic,
essentially
doesn't it? Yeah.
yeah. So like the way it turned out was like he led Steelix, I led something else. I swapped Manaphy into Steelix. Obviously, that forces a switch,
Yep.
so Manaphy gets a tail glow off, and then well,
Yeah, that's game.
yeah, like because then the coverage is Surf, Icy Wind, and yeah, and then Psychic. So Mega Venusaur comes in on a tail glow. You just click Psychic and it dies.
Yep. Yep, dead. Yeah. Oh, I've seen that. And like some people use like the Wakan or the that grassberry Rindo,
Yeah,
so it can
Rindo.
still survive.
I think I used the
And
Citrus
then
Berry. I think
oh yeah, that's not bad.
just because his grass was Venusaur, and I was like, oh, he's gonna just I'm just gonna click Psychic. Venusaur's not gonna use a move because Venusaur wasn't gonna come in until Manaphy had already gotten its boost. I wasn't gonna put Manaphy in on Venusaur.
Oh no, no, because that's a really good lure that way.
Yeah, yeah, that was the plan, and it worked. So you know what, Clinton, you didn't play like shit that game. Actually, I was just very prepared for you. And then he
Sounds like
did
a good
make it.
game.
I think he did make it to the finals and doubles, and then just dropped the game to Rennie.
Well, Rennie's really good, so I wouldn't be too disappointed.
No, he's not. He's not. He loves playing Rennie.
Oh,
He
that's good.
he loves playing Rennie because he and Rennie go way back. Who else do you play?
Oh, no.
Well, you play Rennie this season.
I've battled him a few times.
Yeah,
He's pretty good.
yeah, he
I'm not
is.
sure what his player experience is, but he comes as someone who knows his stuff pretty well.
He's been with NPBF for a very long time, and he got recruited elsewhere.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah.
I can see why, because he's a really good player. Every time I've watched his games or gone against him, he comes across as someone He's got that champion quality almost. He's
Yeah,
very insightful, but very strong at the same time.
yeah,
A lot of respect for him. He's good.
yeah. Well, looking at your schedule, it looks like you're playing everyone that would be a possibly that could possibly be a fresh matchup to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I haven't battled before, and some of the people who I've battled before but don't do well against, like Jeff, for example. Look, he's beaten me every single draft I've played
Oh
him. So
no.
it'll be good to go against him again.
Yeah, it will.
I don't think I can win against him because he's very experienced.
Well, by the time you face him, you'll have enough data,
Yeah, that's right.
so you'll do fine.
I think it'll be fun. I think all the
Exactly.
all the matchups on my schedule. There's quite a few people I've gone against before. Quite a few new people. It's gonna be different, but I think it'll be nice and challenging.
Yeah, I think it's a season to look forward to.
I reckon. Yeah.
Well, that was the last of the questions I had for you, Jason. But before we go, I'm curious if you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share or discuss before we wrap up.
Yep. Um, Honestly, I just hope everyone who I battle against hope we have some good games, and I'm keen to keep on learning more. That's why I love draft. That's why I came to draft to expand my horizons, get stronger, get wiser, and yeah, be the best player I can be.
Man, reiterating the stuff you said last time, and again, makes people just want to root for you already.
It'll be good to have some more for the fan club.
Well, if that doesn't get you excited, I'm not sure how much will. We've still got a couple, and I mean it this time. It really is just a couple more interviews to go after this. It should only be three. So please stay tuned for the rest of the preseason interviews. Look forward to the not post, but for the week one coverage to begin soon. We should be doing team ratings soon as well. Got plenty to look forward to. Jason, again, thank you for joining me. We made it
No
work.
worries. Thanks for having me.
Oh,
Finally,
anytime.
yeah.
I'm glad that, like we said, we said it a couple months ago that we were going to do this again, and now you and I got to do this again.
No, I really looked forward to it. It was really good. Thank you for having me.
I'm very glad to have you back, and hopefully we'll be doing this again in another couple months.
I look forward to it.
It's a date. But until then, everyone, thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more. But until then, see you next time.